It was such a beautiful moment.
And what did Marcus Jr. think when he turned around?
Very surprised. She was very nice.
Yeah, she did look nice, huh?
Yeah.
Tonight, Jessica, the new bride and new stepmom, on her stepson, her bonus son, and the power of that moment.
I want to thank you, David, and everyone else for sharing our video between me and my bonus son. I know that can be challenging to be a bonus mom to a new child, but I want to encourage everyone out there that it's possible to have a great, loving relationship.
Marcus Jr., sweetheart, beautiful family. Good night.
ABC, Disney Plus, and Hulu.
Idalia, it will soon become a major hurricane as it's set to make landfall in the Big Bend of Florida and then bring us some tropical storm impacts tomorrow in the CSRA. We have a Viper 6 alert day in effect, and I'll have all the details coming up.
Right now on News Channel 6 and 7, bracing for the storm. Local Red Cross volunteers head to Florida. We'll hear from them. And how farmers work hard to protect their crops. Your News at 7 starts now.
Live from Television Park, this is WJBF News Channel 6 at 7.
Good evening, everyone. You're watching News Channel 6 at 7. I'm Dee Griffin. Thanks so much for joining us. Our Viper 6 team is tracking Hurricane Idalia, and we join meteorologist Jenna Petranti for a look at what's happening now with us. Jenna.
That's right, Dee. We're not even seeing any direct impacts yet from Idalia, but it's still pouring outside. We're seeing scattered showers and thunderstorms on my Viper 6. We've been dealing with some flooding over the last couple of days, and that's the case once again today. We even had a couple severe thunderstorm warnings and a couple aerial flood advisories. Right now, though, no alerts at this time. Let's take a trip across the CSRA, starting around Wilkes County. We have some heavy downpours, lightning counter at 38 strikes. Widespread rainfall all across the metro, I-20, Martinez, Grovetown, Augusta, all the way into Aiken County, and further down towards the south, more widespread rain showers from Bamberg over into Allendale County. So the rainfall totals over the last 24 hours are pretty slim in a lot of places, seeing under an inch of rain where we see the green and the blue on this map, but seeing around 2 to 3 inches right along the I-20 corridor. And check that out, right along Savannah River site in Barnwell County, nearly 7 inches of rain picked up last night. So that's what I'm talking about when I say we've been dealing with some flooding, and that'll be the case once again tonight and of course tomorrow due to Idalia. Very cloudy outside right now on our Terry Lambert Hyundai Skyview cam. The rain in the clouds keeping our temperatures on the cooler side, though. We're in the mid-70s, 74 in Augusta and Aiken, with a south wind coming in 6 miles per hour in Augusta, 8 in Aiken, blowing at 14 miles per hour in Waynesboro. So here's that stationary front. This has been here over the past couple of days, bringing a very active weather setup across the southeast, widespread scattered showers and thunderstorms all across the two states. Then further towards the south, there's Hurricane Idalia, winds at 100 miles per hour. That's Category 2 strength, and it is expected to strengthen to a Category 3 storm by the time it makes landfall early Wednesday morning, all the way throughout the possibility of late Wednesday morning as well along the Big Bend of Florida, then traveling up the coastline of Georgia and South Carolina as a tropical storm. Even southern Georgia possibly dealing with Category 1 strength. And for us in the CSRA, tropical alerts in place, tropical storm watch and warning for a few of our counties, and a widespread aerial flood watch. I'll have more details on the storm and everything you can prepare for coming up, but back to you, Dee.
All right, thanks so much. We'll see you in a few more minutes. Volunteers with Augusta's Red Cross are heading toward the storm. Hannah Latier spoke with them today. She has that part of our storm coverage.
Executive Director Susan Everett and 5 other Augusta volunteers left for Tallahassee earlier today to prepare shelters. They want to be ready before Wednesday morning, when Hurricane Idalia is expected to hit the Gulf Coast of Florida. They're joining 420 other volunteers on the ground and say they're prepared to help as many people as possible. And they're asking you to sign up to be a volunteer for future disasters and to donate blood and money.
We already have the supplies all in place, so it's a matter of we just get our volunteers, our army of volunteers that are already on the ground. They set up the cots, they put out the comfort kits, They get ready to greet people, and it takes no time at all to get that to happen.
Other Red Cross leaders are staying in Augusta to prepare shelters and supplies in case they're needed here. Those shelters' locations won't be disclosed until they're ready to open. In Augusta, Hannah Latier, WJBF News Channel 6.
The EMA director in Jenkins County says leaders have a plan. Right now, crews remain on standby and will respond only if there's an emergency. Roads are being cleaned as well, and that means clearing out ditches to handle the flow and removing dead trees ahead of wind and rain. The sheriff, while hoping the storm passes, is preparing too.
We're going to hunker down and go with it. Hopefully everybody will stay home and not want to get out and see what everything's looking like. We're fueling up, making sure generators and vehicles and all are full of fuel and gas and getting water and making sure things are tied down.
The EMA director says if the storm comes through the area, there is a shelter set up with a generator and cots. The threat of bad weather is tracking Idalia's path and its eventual impacts on the CSRA. But first, Blake Eason joins us live in St. Petersburg, Florida. And Blake, the wind seems like it's really picking up down there.
Hey, good evening to you. It is certainly great to be back with you again. And yeah, you said it best. The wind really going to be a major difference from the last time that we spoke to you. In fact, you can really hear it and feel it coming in right now off the bay, and the waves are certainly reflecting that as they crash into the wall here behind us. In fact, we were down there just moments ago, but they were coming in so quickly we thought we should probably go ahead and seek higher ground. And so, things to really consider when you think about this storm right here is really going to be the fact that we're still hours away from the storm's landfall, one, and also the area we're in right now is not even nowhere near a direct hit from this storm, but it's certainly already seeing major impacts and effects from it. So the main concern obviously going to be heavy rain, that, damaging wind, but life-threatening storm surge is really going to be the main concern. We heard from FEMA earlier today at the White House. They said some folks along the coast could see storm surge as high as 8 to 12 feet. That is extremely catastrophic and can be very dangerous for folks who don't leave town in the nick of time. Now, we did speak to folks who are leaving town earlier today. They did decide to leave a little bit later than anticipated, and the reason for that is because they say they saw this thing strengthen off the coast right there in the Gulf of Mexico, and they said maybe we should take this thing very, very seriously. And it's important to mention the area that we're in right now is under a mandatory evacuation order, and so folks that are here are essentially going against the order that is placed before them. And the reason why they do that is because first responders say, hey, look, if things get really dangerous down there, we will not be able to come and rescue you. And so that's the kind of order that this place is under tonight. And based off the waves here and the wind that we're already seeing, it is easy to understand why.
All right, thanks so much, Blake. Well, coming up, the latest on the loss of a beloved high school teacher, how her family is looking at possible legal action. Those details up next.
Hello, Facebook or Instagram.
South Carolina Department of Natural Resources divers are working to recover the body of a man they believe is a drowning victim in Lake Thurman. DNR officers say a man went missing off his boat near the Plum Branch Yacht Club yesterday. They say he went into the water and never came back up. Divers are at the lake right now trying to find the victim. His identity is not being released. And now we have the latest on the death of a beloved teacher in Wagner, Sally. She died in a freak accident, and Tiffany Hubbs spoke with her family today.
Her name means young girl, and she kept that youth with her, and that sparkle, it touched everybody.
31-year-old Janelle Robinson was on her lunch break when she was struck on Main Street in Wagner last Wednesday. This surveillance video captures the moments just before Robinson was hit by the pole. The family's attorney says this tragedy could have been avoided if utility poles in the area had been properly maintained.
A chain is only as strong as the weakest link. And if I have a pole that happens to be in good condition, but I let someone else who owns another pole that's rotted tie to my pole, that is equally my fault.
Bamberg says evidence photos taken show rotting inside the poles, some so severe that they are hollow. This video shows a conversation that Bamberg had with Wagner Mayor Mike Miller about the age of the poles.
How do you recognize this pole?
Has a soft drink bottle cap nailed to the near the base.
Mayor Miller tells Bamberg that those bottle caps came from his grandfather's store. He says he remembers going around town nailing the caps into poles as a young boy.
I was a kid, probably 8 years old.
Bamberg tells us these utility poles could be more than 60 years old. State Senator Brad Hutto says a system needs to be in place to ensure routine inspections and proper follow-through.
Somebody needs to monitor these companies and make sure they do what's right. I know they probably had all good intentions. They even put on the website that we know we need to do it, but they hadn't done it.
He tells us he will ensure this gets addressed when they get back in session in January. As for Robinson's parents, they say one of their last family gatherings will remain a fond memory.
It was good to just have everybody there with them laughing and joking and being loud, and us just loving up on each other as a family.
They say that through it all, they plan to keep Janelle's memory alive.
Her light will be missed, but we will always feel her warmth. That's because that was the kind of effect she had.
In Wagner, Tiffany Hobbs, WJBF, News Channel 6.
Coming up, what was a tropical storm is now Hurricane Idalia. We'll join meteorologist and Jenna Petracci as we track the storm's impact on the CSRA. Stay with us.
This is a WJBF live Viper 6 alert.
That's right, it is a Viper 6 alert day today due to the potential of some isolated flooding and some strong storms with gusty winds. That's what we had earlier today. A couple severe thunderstorm warnings and a couple aerial flood advisories. But right now on Live Viper 6, not looking too bad. Just these scattered showers and thunderstorms. Nothing that's persisting too long, bringing a lot of rain at one time. These storms are moving pretty fast right now. This is a look in Crawfordville up into Wilkes County, Lincoln County. Some heavy rain and lightning and widespread showers across the metro. Fortunately, nothing too heavy. And further down towards the southeast, a similar situation, just some widespread light rain showers, Barnwell, Allendale, and Bamberg. But over the last 24 hours, some significant rainfall amounts right along the I-20 corridor, around 2 to 3.5 inches of rain. But look at this, over around Barnwell County, Savannah River site, Highway 125 here is where there was around 7 inches of rainfall late last night over just a 3-hour duration. So that's what I'm talking about when I say we have the potential of flooding. Some of these storms could really linger and bring a lot of rain over a short period of time. A lot of cloud cover as well. Here's our Terry Lambert Hyundai Skyview cam over AU Health. The rain and the clouds are keeping us on the cooler side today. Fortunately, 74 degrees, only feeling like 75. So at least no major heat this week, right? We're seeing only temperatures in those mid-70s to low 80s at the highest. 82 in Washington, 80 in Crawfordville, 77 in McCormick, and 75 in Barnwell. Now, the flooding concern is due to this stationary front. This has been here over the last couple of days, making for a very active weather setup across the southeast. But of course, all our attention is on Hurricane Idalia. This is down in the Gulf of Mexico, getting ready to make landfall in Florida. Right now, it is a Category 2 hurricane with winds at 100 miles per hour, and it could soon become a major hurricane, reaching Category 3 strength. But regardless of that exact amount of wind speeds, we're still dealing with the major storm surge all across the western coast of Florida. 10 to 15 feet of storm surge expected in the Big Bend of Florida, say anywhere from Cedar Key to Steinhatchee. That's where there's going to be some life-threatening surge, definitely going to cause a lot of damage down there, unfortunately. Notice the track here shows it becoming a Category 3 by around 2 a.m. this morning, or tomorrow morning that is, making landfall around that Big Bend of Florida sometime Wednesday morning or early afternoon, then still maintaining its hurricane strength as it moves into southern Georgia, which means that we'll definitely see some impacts here. Now, how intense they'll be, that's still a little bit up in the air, but we do have the potential of tropical storm impacts here in the CSRA. And let's go right into our futurecast now. Viper 6 alert day, of course, tomorrow as the storm makes landfall in Florida. There's Wednesday at 8 a.m. We'll start to see those outer rain bands around 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. This stationary front will be keeping that storm in our area and then driving it out towards sea, going towards the east. This is 11 o'clock on Wednesday. Still some very heavy rain bands coming through. Then that front pushes Idalia completely out to sea and will be much better on Thursday. So here's a closer look at home. 8 o'clock tonight. Still those scattered showers and storms around. Once again, this is more so from that stationary front along with the surge of moisture from Idalia. But then the outer rain bands come in around 6 o'clock in the morning, becoming pretty widespread around 9, 10 o'clock. This is the lunch hour tomorrow. Some very heavy rain, especially towards the southeast of Augusta, say anywhere from Barnwell over into Screven County. That's where I'm expecting the rain totals to be the most significant. Our latest model run picking up on 12 inches of rain in Allendale and Screven County, but notice up towards our northwestern counties, not bad at all, possibly even under an inch of rain. So it really depends on where you are, which impacts you'll see. Now we do have an aerial flood watch for everyone tomorrow, widespread 4 to 8 inches, and also those tropical storm alerts, tropical storm watch, and a warning for Johnson over into Allendale County as those winds could reach up to 73 miles per hour. So flooding possible, definitely some gusty winds and strong storms, also a tornado threat. But after Idalia, things get much better. We'll have a cool down as we go into Labor Day weekend. Plenty of sunshine over the weekend with no more rain to worry about. Your 10-day forecast showing that Viper 6 alert day tomorrow, then a nice sunny and dry stretch Friday all the way through next week with much cooler temperatures, highs in the 80s, lows in the low 60s. And we'll be right back.
Visit J&B Tractor at 3585 Mike Paget Highway in Augusta or see jnbtractor.com.
I'm Doug Edmondson at Augusta Flooring, and this is Tillman, our oldest grandchild.
Hey Tillman, let's show everyone how Mohawk Smart Strand Carpet cleans up.
Grape juice, mustard, coffee, not a problem, just like new.
Mohawk Smart Strand creates a spill and soil barrier that will never wash or wear off.
If you've got spill makers, you need Mohawk Smart Strand Carpet from Augusta Flooring.
Always affordable.
We know y'all are busy. If you're working like a dog, you don't have time to wait for insurance quotes. That's why at Georgia Farm Bureau Insurance, we've added convenient new ways to get that incredible customer service we're known for. Now you can get a quote and secure policies over the phone in minutes. Our top dogs are here to assist, working with your local agent to get you covered. We're working on his communication skills. Call now to get the help you need when you need it, so you can attack the day.
Here's another look at your 10-day forecast. Viper 6 alert day tomorrow as we track Hurricane Idalia. Tropical storm force impacts likely across the CSRA with potential flooding, very gusty winds, and an isolated tornado threat. After that, though, drier and cooler air moving in after Idalia. Temperatures dropping into the low 80s for our highs. Even some upper 50s in the morning. Plenty of sunshine as well as we go into Labor Day weekend.
And remember to go to WJBF.com for all the updates, especially school closings. Entertainment Tonight is next.
Make this the summer event in Waynesboro.
2.9% financing available.
New brand Bighorns and Laramies, 2.9% APR, up to 72 months. Good to go, Waynesboro.com.
I'm Tika.
Big city selection with hometown prices.
Plus, every pre-owned vehicle is backed by J.D. Power's Platinum Warranty.
Choose the exact vehicle you want and we'll deliver it within 500 miles. Take a short drive on Highway 25 to save time and money.
We are tracking Hurricane Idalia. This will become a major hurricane within just a few hours, making landfall in Florida tomorrow morning and also beginning to impact us tomorrow morning. We have a Viper 6 alert day all day Wednesday. I'll have all the details and everything you can prepare for coming up.
Yeah, Jenna's right. It's all we're talking about these days right now at 10, how the two-state is preparing for Hurricane Idalia. Also ahead, how property tax rates are changing in Augusta. We will have the details and an update on the tragedy that took a Wagner Sally teacher's life. We're going to hear from her family as News Channel 6 at 10 starts now.
Live from Television Park, this is WJBF News Channel 6 at 10 on MeTV.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Brad Means. Thanks for joining us. And coverage you can count on does begin with a first check of our weather. Jenna Petracci is with us now as she tracks that hurricane. Jenna?
Well, Brad, we had some heavy rain and some strong storms today. That was actually from the stationary front that's been causing the flooding concerns over the past couple of days. So no direct impacts from Idalia yet. And luckily, we're actually getting a nice break from the rain. Notice the CSRA nearly completely dry, but just to the northwest of us, a flash flood warning right across the Atlanta metro. Very similar to last night. They've been getting slammed with a lot of heavy rain. But as I mentioned, CSRA looking nice and dry. We definitely had plenty of rainfall earlier, though. Pretty damp outside on our Terry Lambert Hyundai Skyview cam outside the station. Our temperatures are in the low to mid 70s, a little bit cooler than normal from the rain and clouds today. We're sitting at 73 in Aiken and Augusta, 75 in Waynesboro, 76 now in Millen, and 74 up in McCormick. Winds are coming in from the southeast, actually pretty light at this time, all under 5 miles per hour. So enjoy this while it lasts. It's definitely the calm before the storm. Tomorrow will be a very windy day as we track Hurricane Idalia. There's that stationary front, though, across the southeast. We are tracking Hurricane Idalia. This will become a major hurricane within just a few hours, making landfall in Florida tomorrow morning and also beginning to impact us tomorrow morning. We have a Viper 6 alert day all day Wednesday. I'll have all the details and everything you can prepare for coming up.
Yeah, Jenna's right. It's all we're talking about these days right now at 10, how the two-state is preparing for Hurricane Idalia. Also ahead, how property tax rates are changing in Augusta. We will have the details and an update on the tragedy that took a Wagner Sally teacher's life. We're going to hear from her family as News Channel 6 at 10 starts now.
Live from Television Park, this is WJBF News Channel 6 at 10 on MeTV.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Brad Means. Thanks for joining us. And coverage you can count on does begin with a first check of our weather. Jenna Petracci is with us now as she tracks that hurricane. Jenna?
Well, Brad, we had some heavy rain and some strong storms today. That was actually from the stationary front that's been causing the flooding concerns over the past couple of days. So no direct impacts from Idalia yet. And luckily, we're actually getting a nice break from the rain. Notice the CSRA nearly completely dry, but just to the northwest of us, a flash flood warning right across the Atlanta metro. Very similar to last night. They've been getting slammed with a lot of heavy rain. But as I mentioned, CSRA looking nice and dry. We definitely had plenty of rainfall earlier, though. Pretty damp outside on our Terry Lambert Hyundai Skyview cam outside the station. Our temperatures are in the low to mid 70s, a little bit cooler than normal from the rain and clouds today. We're sitting at 73 in Aiken and Augusta, 75 in Waynesboro, 76 now in Millen, and 74 up in McCormick. Winds are coming in from the southeast, actually pretty light at this time, all under 5 miles per hour. So enjoy this while it lasts. It's definitely the calm before the storm. Tomorrow will be a very windy day as we track Hurricane Idalia. There's that stationary front, though, across the southeast, keeping showers and storms anywhere from Virginia all the way over into the Gulf Coast. Then there's Idalia. This is bringing the worst impacts now across the Tampa Bay area. It's this outer rain band that I'm watching now, packing a punch down there. Storm surge up to around 6 feet across parts of southwestern Florida. But the main impacts will definitely be across the Big Bend of Florida. That's where landfall is expected early tomorrow morning, possibly as a major hurricane. Right now it is a Category 2, winds at 110 miles per hour. Just 1 mile per hour shy of major hurricane status. So Idalia is still strengthening as it moves up towards the north at a pretty fast pace, 18 miles per hour. Looks like the latest advisory just came out as of 10 p.m. So this is going to look a little bit messed up right now. But notice by 2 a.m. on Wednesday morning, Category 3 storm. Then it still maintains its hurricane status as it moves across southern Georgia and then travels along the Georgia-South Carolina coastline, eventually weakening down to a tropical storm, but still bringing us a lot of impacts, including a tropical storm watch in place, tropical storm warning in our southern counties, and a widespread aerial flood advisory for all of us. So we have a lot to watch for tomorrow. I'll have more details on everything you can expect, depending on what county you're in, coming up. But back to you, Brad.
All right, thanks, Jenna. Burke County EMA getting set for what's to come when that storm hits. Nikita Dennis has the story. Legal action. Still ahead. Jenna with your Viper 6 forecast and what you should be aware of ahead of the hurricane. Speaking of, South Carolina's governor issuing a state of emergency. what that means for the Palmetto State when News Channel 6 at 10 continues.
Salam. This is a WJBF Live Viper 6 alert.
Good Tuesday evening. We had some heavy rain today, leading to some aerial flood advisories and even a couple severe thunderstorm warnings earlier. But now things are looking much better across the CSRA. All that heavy rainfall focused more so to our northwest around the Atlanta metro. That's where there's a flash flood warning now until 3 o'clock in the morning. And then also, of course, some rain down towards the south of us as well from Hurricane Idalia. We'll get into that in just a moment. But right now on Live Viper 6 across the CSRA, really not a drop of rain. So the nice calm before the storm, definitely enjoy it while it lasts, because tomorrow we have that Viper 6 alert day as we track Idalia. But right now on our Terry Lambert Hyundai Skyview cam, a nice night over AU Health, looking good, 73 degrees here in town. Winds are very light, only 3 miles per hour, dew points in the low 70s. Doesn't seem like much happening so far, but this will quickly change as we go into around 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. Right now, all of us in those low to mid 70s, pretty consistent temperatures. We have this stationary front still across the southeast. This has been here over the past few days, leading to those flooding concerns and a few strong storms. This will not become our main focus, though, starting tomorrow. That becomes Idalia. Right now, it is a Category 2 hurricane, winds at 110 miles per hour. That's just 1 mile per hour shy of Category 3 strength, which, of course, is a major hurricane. So Idalia is still rapidly strengthening as it moves off towards the north at a pretty fast rate of 18 miles per hour. Right now, the strongest rain band is impacting the Tampa Bay area. You can see that right now coming through, some very heavy rain, strong storms, and of course the storm surge as well. That's an issue pretty much across the entire western coast of Florida and even into our area across South Carolina and Georgia. That's where the surge could reach 6 feet, but it's this area here, this is the Big Bend of Florida, where surge could possibly reach 10 to 15 feet, so very destructive and definitely not a good situation for our friends down there around the Cedar Key area, all along the Big Bend. So here's the latest track as of the 10 p.m. advisory. It is expected to reach 115 mile per hour winds as we go into the overnight hours, still maintaining its hurricane strength as it moves across Valdosta and southern Georgia. Then it travels along the Georgia and South Carolina coastline as a tropical storm, and it is continuing to take more so a westward track, which means more impacts to the CSRA. So let's get right into it. Here's 11 o'clock tonight. There's Idalia headed towards the Big Bend. This will make landfall early Wednesday morning in Florida, then move into Georgia, and that's when we'll see those rain bands on and off throughout the day. Some periods of heavy rain, some periods of lighter rain, and also the gusty winds pretty much all day long. Then the stationary front will steer Idalia out to sea. This will no longer be an issue for us as we go into Thursday. So let's bring it closer to home. 5 o'clock in the morning on Wednesday, cloudy start. Then those outer rain bands begin to move in, moving south towards the north. 8 a.m., widespread rain for everyone, and those heavy bands coming through at times. So you'll get some heavy rain at times, some strong storms, then a bit of a break, and then it continues. So this goes on and off throughout the entire day on Wednesday. This is 6 o'clock in the evening, becoming very heavy, especially for our southeastern counties, as that eye moves just to the east of us. So it's the center of it, very close to the CSRA. But by 4 a.m. Thursday morning, headed out the door for work, things will be much better. But definitely be aware there could be a lot of trees down, power outages, and definitely flooding. That's one of our biggest concerns here. So there is a tropical storm watch for Washington all the way over into Barnwell County, tropical storm warning for our far southern lying counties, and a widespread aerial flood watch for everyone. I'm expecting a widespread 4 to 8 inches of rain in isolated locations reaching 10 inches. Here's the breakdown, county by county. If you're in our northern counties, not looking nearly as bad for you. Central counties, including Augusta, Aiken, that's where we could have 2 to 6 inches of rain still. Can't rule out the possibility of an isolated tornado as well. But as we go into the next several days, we'll have some nice relief when it comes to the temperatures. Idalia bringing in some cooler and drier air just in time for the holiday weekend. Looking great, plenty of sunshine, no rain, temperatures in the low to upper 80s. Our lows tonight will be in the low 70s, showers and storms, highs tomorrow in the upper 70s to low 80s. And your 10-day forecast showing that Viper 6 alert day tomorrow as we track Idalia, plenty of sunshine and drier and cooler temperatures as we go into the weekend. And we'll be right back.
South Carolina
proceed accordingly.
The governor says he does not plan to issue any evacuation orders at this time. Still ahead, we are covering that shooting down in Jacksonville, Florida that left several dead. Surveillance video now out.
I guarantee you have nothing to lose.
Sleep well, America! It got here fast. It flew by. 25 wonderful years here at News Channel 6. And it's hard to believe that we've reached this milestone, but I knew probably within the first month of being here that Augusta and the CSRA, that's a place I wanted to make a life. I am eternally grateful for the privilege of being able to come in your home every single day, every single night. I will never take it for granted. It means the world. New potential evidence in a shooting investigation down in Jacksonville that left 3 people dead. Rita Roy has an update.
Newly released surveillance video shows the moments police responded to this Dollar General store in Jacksonville, Florida, shortly after authorities say a self-proclaimed white supremacist opened fire with a handgun and AR-15 style rifle, killing 3 black people. 19-year-old store employee Anolt Joseph Laguerre Jr., 29-year-old Gerald Gallion, and Angela Carr, 52 years old.
She was alone. She died alone. And I don't care what we ever been through. It's my mom. My mom is gone.
Police say the 21-year-old suspect had writings containing racist and hateful ideology. The suspect's father calling 911 after discovering a last will and testament and suicide note on his laptop. ABC News obtaining that call.
When he was 15, he left a note, a suicide note, and got on his bike and was headed downtown to jump off a building.
Before the shooting Saturday, the alleged gunman seen on cell phone video putting on a tactical vest and blue latex gloves at Edward Waters University, Florida's first historically black college.
And it was that history, that progress, that black excellence that this feeble, virulent-minded white domestic terrorist sought to stamp out.
But some quick-thinking students reporting the suspect to campus security who moved in, following him as he drove off to catch his license plate. Lieutenant Antonio Bailey being hailed a hero for chasing him away.
It was the act of the students that came forth as to why I was able to do what I did today. I'm no hero.
Police say the suspect also stopped at a neighborhood Family Dollar store before his deadly rampage. They believe it could have been a possible target. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
Still ahead, we're going to have an update from Shane Beamer on USC football. And the Atlanta Braves will look for their second big win over the Rockies after last night's blowout.
When you're a
News Nation.
There's so many options when it comes to choosing a personal injury lawyer.
Some claim to get you big bucks, and some say they never lose. So how do you choose?
We say, at the end of the day, it's not about us, it's about you.
It's about you.
At the Icos Law Firm, we will work to get you the justice you deserve.
Do you suffer daily with at VitalityMedCenters.com?
And last but not least, a child in Pennsylvania getting attention near and far at one mall's food court.
He's seeking out strangers to play chess with. Allie Lanyon has the story.
Months ago, 9-year-old Quatemo Vasquez Galvez taught himself how to play chess online and realized he had met his match.
Because it's a strategy game and I like strategies.
Instead of playing strangers on a computer, his mom suggested they seek out competition in real life at the Capital City Mall.
He made a sign and he was standing there and he just got a bunch of people playing with him. Rather than him being at home and sitting on electronics and everything, he's actually using his mind and socializing.
Find other chess enthusiasts?
We did this different than last time.
Check. People have been lining up for weeks to challenge Quatemo.
A nice man actually got me this board once when he after playing with me. It was so nice.
What did you say to him?
I said thank you and gave him a hug. because that was so generous of him. Me and my mom usually play chess while having tea.
9-year-old Sydney Chicky Chop has played several times.
I usually play against some family members, but they wanted me to have a better challenge and more people to play with.
In addition to being an opponent, Quatemo also now calls her a friend.
Who's a better chess player?
Him.
He's better?
Definitely. I think 20 or 10 steps ahead. Even I have strategies if my plan goes wrong. I always use the open end, the French defense, because that move, that was the most inspiring thing I ever saw in chess.com. I love that move.
This new king of the food court has found a bond over the board, reminding us through pawns, knights, and bishops that we are all pieces of a human puzzle that is always better together.
My biggest joy is seeing his happiness, and he really has a passion for chess.
Wow, what a gift to be able to play so well at such a young age.
Yeah, and make so many friends playing. That's so wonderful.
Yeah, very cool.
We love to see
Our
that.
main takeaway, though, was definitely the cool names.
Yes,
Yeah,
very
great
cool names. In that
Beautiful
story.
names,
Very
both of them.
Cool names.
Beautiful.
Well, for our forecast tomorrow, we have a Viper 6 alert day as we track Idalia. High of only 80 degrees. Rain chance, well, that's at 90%. Everyone can expect rain tomorrow. We'll be at 80 on Thursday as well. Cooler temperatures the rest of the week as we go into Labor Day weekend. Plenty of sunshine and upper 50s in the morning.
All right, Jenna, thanks. We're back at 11 o'clock on News Channel 6.
Hogan's Heroes is next here on MeTV.
Play on, America.
I am tracking Hurricane Idalia. Right now it's a Category 2 storm, expected to become a major hurricane by landfall. The latest 11 o'clock update now showing it strengthened to Category 4 straight. What does this mean for the CSRA? I'll have all those details coming up.
Right now on News Channel 6 at 11, how the CSRA is getting set for the impact of ever-growing Idalia. Also ahead, a proposal for a brand new biofuel facility gets a little backlash from the community. We'll cover that meeting. And how property tax rates are changing in Augusta. Details as your news at 11 starts now.
Live from Television Park, this is WJBF News Channel 6 at 11.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Brad Means. Thanks for joining us. Let's get straight to our weather as we all wait to find out what tomorrow will bring. Jenna Petracci and our entire team of meteorologists tracking it all. Jenna?
Well, Brad, let's start out with a look at live Viper 6 across the CSRA. We had some heavy downpours today, even some strong to severe thunderstorms. The good news is that we're now completely dry here, so enjoy that while it lasts. A few showers popping up actually in our western counties, but other than that, nothing significant. Heavy rain and even a flash flood warning going on across the Atlanta metro, but nothing to impact us as we go into the overnight hours. We'll keep it dry until around 6 o'clock. But that's when things are going to change. But in the meantime, our Terry Lambert Hyundai Skyview cam over AU Health looking nice. It's very calm right now. Temperatures are right around normal in those low 70s, 73 here in town and over in Aiken. And check out these winds. Very, very light. I'm only seeing up to 5 miles per hour in Gibson, Sandersville. Here's the update. No longer even at 5. 4 now. 5 up in Thompson. Very, very calm night so far. We have the stationary front across our area. That's what brought us the showers and storms over the past couple of days. But that will no longer be our main focus as we go into tomorrow with our Viper 6 alert day. All attention is on Hurricane Idalia. Winds are still at 110 miles per hour, just 1 mile per hour shy of major hurricane status. Idalia is moving quickly towards the north at 18 miles per hour. This outer rain band is now impacting Tampa Bay, say anywhere from Cedar Key down to Naples. That's where some storm surge is occurring now, gusty winds, and of course the heavy rain. So this is going to become a major hurricane within just a few hours. We had the 11 o'clock update just come out. Here's the latest track. This is a significant change. So notice by 8 a.m. Wednesday morning, it's a little bit hard to see, but that says 4. Now a Category 4 hurricane expected even inland as far as Tallahassee. Landfall likely around St. Mark's. That's in between Horseshoe Beach and Carabel. Notice the track is getting much more slim as we're starting to see more certainty here. It is continuing to take more of a westward shift as well, and that means more impacts throughout the CSRA. Also, due to the storm maintaining its Category 4 strength inland. That means that it will still be a Category 1 by the time it reaches the CSRA. That's 8 p.m. on Wednesday. The center of the storm just in our southeastern counties and then traveling along the South Carolina coastline, eventually weakening down to a strong tropical storm. Now, I am expecting us to see some hurricane watches in effect. Right now, though, this is just coming out. Tropical Storm Watch now for McDuffie, Columbia, Richmond, Aiken, Jefferson, and Washington, and Glasscock counties. This was not here just a moment ago. And we also have that tropical storm warning from Burke down to Screven, Emmanuel, Bamberg, and I am expecting the possibility of hurricane watches as well. All of us under an aerial flood watch as well. Widespread 4 to 8 inches of rain, isolated locations up to 10 inches. I'll have a lot more details coming up with a breakdown county by county of what you can expect. But back to you, Brad.
All right, Jenna, we appreciate it. Agencies all across the two-state getting set for this bad weather. Nikita Dennis kicks off our crease. All right, coming up, our Viper 6 team tracking that hurricane. You'll want to stay with meteorologist Jenna Petracci. She has your full forecast when we come back.
See your local GMC dealer.
The headlines on News Channel 6, brought to you by Jamie Casino Injury Attorneys. This is a WJBF Live Viper 6 alert.
We had some heavy rain and some strong storms today, but right now not looking too bad across the CSRA. I'm watching some heavy rainfall in northwest Georgia. Flash flood warning now until 3 o'clock in the morning all across the Atlanta metro. For us, though, here in town, just a few light showers in our western counties around Sparta, Crawfordville, Warrenton. Other than that, the calm before the storm. It's a pretty nice night. Our Terry Lambert Hyundai Skyview cam outside the station, not looking bad at all. We're sitting at 73 degrees. Winds are very calm, dew point of 72. Around the CSRA, temperatures all very consistent in those mid-70s. We have the stationary front across the two-state, and this is what's caused a few showers and storms over the past couple of days, which led to flooding. But now focus is turning down towards Hurricane Idalia. This will become our weather maker for Wednesday. That's why we have the Viper 6 alert day in effect. And we have some updates as of 11 o'clock. Wind speed still at 110 miles per hour. That means this is a Category 2 storm, but it's only 1 mile per hour shy of major hurricane strength. The outer rain bands right now impacting Tampa Bay, say anywhere from Cedar Key down to Naples. The worst impacts happening now in the center of Idalia, headed towards the Big Bend of Florida, and the latest track showing some significant changes. But first onto the storm surge, up to 6 feet pretty much across the entire western coast of Florida, even up towards our neck of the woods, South Carolina and Georgia, but 10 to 15 feet of surge around the Big Bend, say anywhere from Carabel down to Cedar Key. Very significant, life-threatening surge there. And here's that 11 o'clock track. So Idalia is expected to strengthen all the way up to Category 4 strength. That's new as of 11 o'clock. Originally a Category 3, now winds expected to reach 130 miles per hour. And that Category 4 strength expected to stay inland all the way to Tallahassee. I'm expecting the landfall to be anywhere from around Carabel down to Horseshoe Beach, likely around St. Mark's. Then it'll travel across southern Georgia, still maintaining its hurricane strength. And this is also new. Category 1 strength still as it passes through the CSRA in our southeastern counties. Then traveling along the coastline here, Savannah, Charleston, up to Wilmington as a tropical storm. So definitely some changes here that just came out. But let's start right off with our futurecast at midnight tonight. Idalia pushing up towards the north at a pretty fast rate of 18 miles per hour. Those outer rain bands coming in by 8 o'clock in the morning, continuing all day long. This is the afternoon now. And then by the evening, that's when the center of the storm will be in our southeastern counties. This stationary front will steer Idalia out to sea, so we'll be completely done with this by Thursday morning. So this is an all-day Wednesday event. Let's bring it closer to home. 5 o'clock in the morning, those outer rain bands entering Wrightsville, Swainsboro. Widespread rain by 8 o'clock in the morning. Continuing on and off. You'll get some heavy rain at times, gusty winds, and then we'll get a bit of a break with some lighter rain, and then it just continues. 6 o'clock. Very heavy rain for everyone. Some strong storms possibly embedded in here with the threat of some spin-up tornadoes. By 11 o'clock, that center pushing off towards the east, just some light rain. And then by the overnight hours, we'll be done with this Thursday, looking much better. But one of our biggest concerns here is the flooding. We have an aerial flood watch for everyone tomorrow. I'm expecting widespread 4 to 8 inches of rainfall with isolated amounts reaching 10 inches, mostly in our southeastern counties. We have a tropical storm watch now in effect from Hancock over to Columbia, Richmond, and Aiken counties. This is new, just as of the past 15 minutes. That tropical storm warning is now for Burke, Washington, Jefferson, down towards the south. Earlier today, Burke County was just under watch, so you can see this is all shifting up towards the north now, bringing more impacts for everyone. But as of now, here's the breakdown. Our northern counties not looking as bad. Central County showing around 2 to 6 inches of rain, wind gusts from 40 to 60 miles per hour. The possibility of an isolated tornado as well. And then for our southern counties, 6 to 10 inches of rain, a few tornadoes possible. But then after this, Brad, things are looking much better. Viper 6 alert day for just tomorrow. Then plenty of sunshine as we go into Labor Day weekend. We'll have cooler and drier conditions, upper 50s in the morning. Our highs in the low to upper 80s.
Yeah, just get through Wednesday.
Yep, that's right.
All right,
we
thanks.
We can do it.
Well, we'll be with you all day tomorrow, Jenna, and the entire team. We appreciate you. Still ahead right here, a look at the effort to lower the cost of prescription drugs we should be pursuing.
The White House says the new lower prices for those 10 prescription drugs should take effect in 2026, but that's also going to depend on what happens with the lawsuits. In Washington, Alexandra Limo.
Coming up, we're going to get an update from Coach Shane Beamer on South Carolina football, and the Braves looking for their second big win over the Rockies after last night's blowout in sports.
Now, WJBF sports coverage you can count on.
Week 1 of the college football season is this weekend, and the South Carolina Gamecocks are starting off very strong. Home Depot's College Game Day kicks off its 30th season in Charlotte as the Gamecocks take on the Tar Heels in the Duke's Mayo Classic. The Battle of the Carolinas will feature veteran quarterback Spencer Rattler for the Gamecocks against Drake May for the Tar Heels. And the last time these two teams met up, the year was 2021, and Shane Beamer got himself a Mayo bath after the big win. Beamer spoke to the media ahead of the weekend's game to talk about his excitement for the matchup and how much his team has developed in the offseason.
Excited to finally be playing like our group. We've had a good preseason. There's no question we've gotten better since the beginning of preseason practice, and eager to get out there on Saturday night and see where we are as a football team. So
the Gamecocks open their season on September 2nd, and kickoff is at 7:30 p.m. Back home in Augusta, the Green Jackets were affected by severe weather on Tuesday night, and they had to delay the start of Game 1 against the Red Sox by over an hour. The game finally began at 8:30, and Augusta wasted absolutely no time getting to work as they managed to take Game 1 over Salem 11-9. Game 2 is scheduled for Wednesday night, but it will, of course, depend on severe weather from Hurricane Idalia, and we'll have updates for you on that game right here on News Channel 6. Over in the MLB, the Braves took on the Rockies for Game 2 of their series. Top of the second, no score. Marcell Ozuna sends it to right field, and it is gone. That's home run number 30 for the Big Bear as Ozuna becomes the third Brave to reach 30 homers this season. Same inning, now 1-0, thanks to Ozuna. Eddie Rosario at the dish. He knocks this one to right center, well struck, and it bounces off the top of the wall for a triple. Then Sean Murphy says, "I got you, buddy," and he brings in Rosario with a single, sent the other way, and the Braves lead 2-0. Then in the top of the fifth, Braves up 2-1. Austin Riley on third from Marcell Ozuna. He'll hit the gap to score Riley and tack on another run for Atlanta. 3-1 would be the final score as the Braves get the win, and they will look to get the sweep in Game 3 on Wednesday.
Busy night in sports.
Busy night, and lots of hurricane severe weather stuff going on.
Yeah, thanks,
Crazy.
Appreciate
Anytime.
it. Up next, a treat that you can eat or you can color with it, your choice, or both. Details after the break. Introducing CRE, or crayons, ready to eat. They're Belgian chocolate crayons. They can color like any other crayon, but they come from a company created by a former Marine. He got the idea when he was doing a project with his young son. His young son ate a crayon, and he said, "Hey, we need to do better." So he got these FDA approved. They taste great. They can only ship them during cooler temperatures, though, so be on the lookout for those.
It's just making me think of like that smell of a crayon.
Sure.
I don't like it.
No, but these will smell good, and
Yeah.
but then the kid eats the whole box. It could go south, so be
It probably
careful.
would.
I worry that a kid would still think that Crayola can be eaten
Right.
and mix up
That's
a good
which
point.
ones can and
Yeah.
cannot.
Or think markers could be in her
Yeah.
colored pencils.
Yeah.
I foresee some problems.
Yeah.
And parents stay involved.
Stay involved.
I think that's a good takeaway. Well, for our 10-day forecast, we're watching Tropical Storm Idalia. Of course, let's actually start out with some of these alerts first. We have widespread aerial flood watch for all of our counties. Widespread 4 to 8 inches of rainfall tomorrow. Isolated locations could reach 10 inches. And in addition to this, this is new as of 11 o'clock. Tropical Storm Watch now includes some of our central counties, including Richmond, Aiken, Columbia, McDuffie, and that tropical storm warning has been extended a little bit further north, now including Burke County. So keep that in mind for tomorrow. Definitely some more significant impacts expected with a very high chance of rain tomorrow. Definitely some gusty winds, strong storms as well. But then the rest of the forecast looks fantastic. Labor Day weekend will be awesome. Nice and sunny. Temperatures on the cooler side. In the 80s, even some upper 50s in the morning.
All right, Jenna, thanks a lot. Be sure to keep it here as well as our social media sites and WJBF.com. Continuing coverage as events warrant throughout the day and night tomorrow. Good night.